Tools needed: 2014 Acura MDX transmission, drain and fill, funnel, 3/8 breaker bar, 3/8 socket. Now these tools here, you're just gonna need to get that little panel off the bottom to access the transmission drain plug. This is a 10 millimeter socket, flathead. You're gonna use that. There's a couple of push pins you might have to take off, and there's a couple of Phillips head screws you got to take out, and of course original Honda ATF DW-1 4 quarts. All right, let's get into it. Alrighty then. Good to go. 4 jack stands, all set. Hey YouTube, what's up? Brooklyn Bionic here with another DIY special. Today we're gonna be attacking the transmission fluid. We're doing a drain and fill. I'm thinking I'm gonna get 3 to 4 quarts, I'm not sure. 2014 Acura MDX. Let's get into it. All right, the first order of business is to remove this flap here. This just comes right up, just held in by a bunch of pins. We leave that over there for now. Okay, YouTube. There's 2 different ways you could go about reaching the fill hole for the tranny fluid. You know, where you want to put the tranny back, the fluid back in. Now, good luck finding the there's definitely a fill plug somewhere under here. But best believe, if to get to it, you're gonna have to be moving this. You're gonna have to move this. You probably have to move a bunch of stuff just to get to it. So I'm gonna try to cheat today. And where's my light? Let me show you. If you can see that. Okay. The transmission dipstick. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Try to move the light around a little bit. And zoom in on it a little bit. Where is it? There we go. There we go, right there. See that? Dipstick for the tranny fluid, to check the tranny fluid. That's how I'm gonna be filling up today. I'm not gonna use the fill port hole. That's too hard to get to. I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna stick a tube down there and fill it right through here. Now let me pull this out so I can do this while I'm holding the camera. It's a tight hole. Ah, okay. All right, there we go. My car is kind of like a goldish yellow. Okay, here's the dipstick. Now the proper way to check this is when the car is like at operating temperature. So what I did this week, today is Sunday, by the way. Well, today's Sunday, August 27th, 2017. Last Monday, I drove the car to work. My job is only about 12 miles away. But New York City traffic, that's easily an hour. Like an hour and a half, easily. So I got to my job, left the car on, opened up the hood. While the car was still running, I stuck my hand down there, got the dipstick out. And my fluid is somewhere around the top, right next to the hole, right before the hole. So pretty much full. And I also did the same thing again on Friday, which was 2 days ago. Now, I'm telling you this to show you that I'm totally satisfied with the amount of fluid that's in the car right now. All I have to do is put this, whatever I get out of it, I'm going to put this exact amount back in. I don't need any more, and I don't need any less. And so when I'm finished, when it's all said and done here, and I'm finished here today, after I throw the tranny fluid in here, I don't have to stop, run the car around the block, get the fluids in the system running again, and come back and open it up again and check it. I don't have to do all of that. I'm just gonna put exactly what came out of it. I'm satisfied with what's in here right now. It's perfect. So that's just my method of doing it. You can do it how you see fit. All right, cool. Yep. Okay, there's the tranny hole. Let me show it to you. Let's zoom in on it. It's a nice big hole there. It's a nice good size. Could run that transmission fluid in there easily. And I'm gonna leave the dipstick out while I'm doing this, because while that's open, you got air going into the system, so that when I open the drain plug, I got I'm gonna have a nice flow coming out of there. And besides, I just drove the car a couple of miles, like 2 exits on the highway, and came back. So the fluid should be nice and warm. It's gonna flow out of there real nice. Let's do it. All right, there you go, YouTube. That's the oil pan I'm gonna be using to catch the transmission fluid, the old transmission fluid. It's an oily mess right now. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. That definitely has to be clean. Remember, I told you, whatever comes out of there, I'm gonna put back in. So I need an exact measurement, which means I gotta clean that out. So I'll do that before I'm ready to drain the fluid. Boom. Nice and clean. Now that I can use. Perfect. Okay, YouTube. To access the transmission drain plug, go to the front of the car. See if I can get it here. Let me see if I can get that straight for you there. All right. Good enough. This panel right here, we have to remove that. The drain plug is somewhere around here. The transmission fluid drain plug is somewhere around here. Now, to remove this, there's a plethora of different screws here. You got Phillips, you got push pins. I see bolts on the other end. And I think that's all I see. Now, if I'm not mistaken, see, I got this car secondhand. I bought it this year. So I'm missing about 3 screws. So right now, I think only 4 screws are holding this up. It's supposed to be more than that, but 4 is doing the job. I'm not too worried about it. And I actually believe, it's supposed to be another protective layer over here. I'm supposed to have 2 of them. So I'm feeling gypped right now. But car runs great, and I'm happy. That's minor. All right, let me get this thing off. Yep. So this is the panel itself. I'm just gonna leave it like that because it came off like so, with the smaller end towards the back, I think. And these are the screws that were holding it down. So I can zoom in on that. These are a combination of two that's 10mm screws, one Phillips head and one push pin. There's a Phillips head. I'm assuming the screws I have missing are probably mostly push pins, but these are the 4 screws that were holding this in, and it was doing fine. But when I get a chance to buy some push pins and put those in, I think they're just push pins missing, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's maybe 7 holes on this thing. Maybe 7. There's one here, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if that was whole. Maybe it's just 6 altogether. So maybe I have 4 and 2 push pins missing if I'm lucky. All right, let's get to the transmission drain plug. All right, guys, this is our product here. After taking the panel off, that's what we got. What we got here. All right. This is our transmission fluid drain plug right here. All that needs is a 3/8 adapter. Right? Perfect. All right, guys. I got my trusty oil pan here. Nice and clean. Remember, I told you I'm gonna measure whatever comes out of there, so you need this to be perfect. Get an accurate measurement. And I try to position it under the drain bolt. My 3/8 adapters in there. Let me see if that can focus a little bit more. That's good enough. All right, let's see if I can break it. This is a breaker bar. It's not a socket. Let's see how fast I can do this. Make sure it's in there fully. You don't want to strip this bolt. Oh, broke. That wasn't too bad. All right. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. There we go. It's coming out. All right, guys, ready, set. Woo! Whoa. Yeah, that's making kind of a mess. Woo! Good enough. A couple of drops on the floor. The transmission fluid is always violent when it comes out. You gotta be careful. Just gonna let that drain. Look at this. Not sexy at all. I could have did better than that. I'm all bloodied up. Dead. All right, we just sit there, let that drain. I'll put this fill bolt right here. Mine is not looking too bad. Well, maybe it is, man. Oh, a gray shaving. Those supposed to be metal shavings from the tranny. This is a magnet. Traps all of that. Let me wipe this off. Kind of a windy day, so the fluid is going all over. The fluid is not that bad though. It looks nice and red. It's not dark at all. I'm gonna wipe this off, and we're gonna change this crush washer on it. This is an 18mm crush washer, by the way. Out with the old, in with the new. Let's just let that sit. Drain it out, buddy, drain. Alright, let me twist this around. The wind is blowing it left and front this way instead of this way, so it's better. Alright, another trick I learned. Although this looks like it's almost done. Right now the car is on jack stands, but it's perfectly level right now. If you put the car on a decline, meaning the front is going to be higher than the back. No, sorry, the back is going to be higher than the front. I think we can get more fluid out of there. I'm going to try it. So I'm going to leave you guys here to watch, and I'm going to pump the back of the car up and see if any more fluid comes out of it. Right now the car is level. I'm going to put it on a decline and see what happens. Squeeze more juice out of this lemon. No, absolutely not. The car drives fine. Getting any more or what? More decline, more. Any different? Let's see what goes on there. What are we looking like? Doesn't seem like any more to me. You guys got to see more than I got to see. We just leave it like that and let that drain out completely. I want to get the most dirty fluid out of this as possible. All right, YouTube. It's been about maybe 20 minutes since I opened the drain plug. I got it down to a slow drip. I think that's good enough. Ain't not much more gonna be coming out of there. So you just plug the hole. Good enough. Alright, forgive me on this part. I'm gonna use a socket wrench, but I don't have the torque specs on this. I'm just gonna tighten it to snug. Forgive me. Forgive me because before I have sinned. Make sure this is in good. You don't want to strip the nut. I'm just gonna go into a snug. That should be good enough. I think that's perfect. Perfect. Now let's take a look at the sloppiness. Let's see what came out of my car. Let's check this out. Well, you can't see much from the camera. And because this oil pan is black, I can't really get a good fix on what's going on, but when it came out, I saw it against the sun and it looked pretty red, so we won't pay attention to this. Right now we're just worried about the measurement. So I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. Be right back. Okay, YouTube. This is how I'm gonna measure what came out of the car, the transmission fluid that came out of the car. I just took, I'm using this Prestone de-icer empty bottle, but you pretty much can use anything, but preferably you need two containers, preferably the same size, and you need both of them to be extremely dry inside. You want an accurate measurement, and you need one of them to be extremely clean, because I'm gonna put the transmission fluid in one of them, fill it up. Then I'm gonna put another one. I'm gonna put the other one next to it and fill it up with clean transmission fluid. So the one I'm gonna fill up with clean transmission fluid, I want that to be extremely clean and dry. These are both pretty clean, so let's do it. I'm gonna use a funnel to get the old transmission fluid into the bottle here. Just put this to the side. Hopefully this doesn't spill on me or anything like that. Let's go. Good enough. If you want to get technical, you could try to get every drop out of here if you can, but it's not going to be easy. That's good enough for me. I'm satisfied. So, that's my measurement of what came out. I'm going to line this up with the other bottle and put clean transmission fluid in the other bottle. And that's how it goes. Alright, let me line them up. Alright, YouTube, I'm all ready to match up the same amount that I took out with the new fluid. Of course I'm using the Honda Genuine, the ATF DW-1. I believe this goes for all MDXs all the way up to 2015. All MDXs all the way up to 2015. In 2016, I think they started making the 9-speed transmissions. So this is not the same fluid for this, but this will work for. Well, mine is a 2014. This fluid has worked for MDXs all the way up from birth to 2015. All right, let's do it. I got my trusty funnel here. Just the same funnel I just used, but this time I washed it out because I don't want any contaminants going down into the new fluid and going into the transmission. Let's just get assuming it's gonna be at least 4 quarts. All right, that's one down. What do we got here? What do we got here? Quart 2. Quart 2 down. Quart 3.
Yeah, meet me over there. You should walk because you gotta walk the paint off.
All right, that's quart 3. Last quart. Quart 4. Sorry for all the background noise. This is street side car fix. I don't have a garage. All right, this is quart 4. Look at that. There's still a little tip in here. But as you can see, this is already a little bit more than this. But I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this in here. This is compensate for all the drips that got on the floor and what I didn't wipe out of that oil pan. So to me, it's pretty perfect. Nice. See the line here? This is a little tip more than that, but that's not a problem. So 4 quarts, people. Take this out. Where's my cover? I don't need to spill it all over the place. Good to go. All right, and of course, we got to dispose of our bad oil the right way. I usually just fill up these 5-gallon bottles and put them on the side until they get full. Usually they last me a year or something like that, between oil changes, fluid changes, and I just throw it on the side, and when it's full, I take it to, AutoZone or something like that. This is the old transmission fluid. And it's not even looking that bad coming out of here. And of course I'll save this. If any other fluid I need to check or, these bottles always come in handy. I got about 3 or 4 of them. This is a dirty one. All right. Perfect. Now let's get this new fluid in the car. Hey people, if you want to know how I'm going to get the, you can find yourself a long funnel that's small enough to fit in that dipstick hole. But this is how I do it. When I originally bought this thing, it had like a shorter tube on it. So I went to Home Depot and purchased a little roll of it and put it here. If you must know, this is it's 2 feet 4 inches, the length of this cable. It fits right inside the dipstick hole. I mean, you can shove it down in there and it sits right on top of the, you know, by the radiator. You can just actually leave it and just pour. It's perfect. I believe the outside diameter of this is about 5/8. So that it's small enough to fit inside the transmission dipstick port. It's perfect. Alright, YouTube, I got my funnel mounted. You can see that there. Let me zoom in on it. Let me zoom in on it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I don't know if you can see that, but the funnel, the tube is going right inside the hole there. See that? It's perfect. It's perfect. So all I gotta do is get to pouring. Good to go. Alright guys, there's no way I can set up the camera, so guess what? I think I'm gonna have to try to do this one-handed. And this thing got some heft to it, got some weight. See how good I am? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Go ahead. Make sure that's going down. Oh, that's perfect, not too bad. Go ahead, get yourself situated. Get yourself situated. I'm going in. Not too bad. I can contort that funnel, and that tube is, see, you don't get that out of a regular funnel. Just gonna pour it in there nicely. Smooth. Smooth. They say you're supposed to do the service every 20 to 40,000 miles. Now I only drive about 8,000 miles a year. So I'm gonna try to do it every 3 years. Now when you do this, you're supposed to do it 3 times. You see, I did a drain and fill today and I got 4 quarts. You're supposed to do that 3 times, they say. Well, the more you do it, the better. The way I do it, like today is Sunday, I drive for about a week, back and forth to work, wherever. It's about 100 miles, anyway from 100 to 150 miles. And I do it for the next 3 weeks, the next 2 weeks. Well, I did one today, so the next 2 weekends, I'll do the same thing. Just to get the fluid as clean as possible. This is next, listen, the only way to clean this transmission fluid is to really overhaul the engine and take that's the only way you can get all the fluid out of it and put it back in. There's no other way. You know, overhaul, that costs money right there. You don't want to do that. And of course, some people, they go to those quick lubes and they use those machines that sucks the old fluid out while it's putting the new fluid in. I did some homework on that, and I would stay as far away from that as possible. This is the next best thing right here. Just do a drain and fill. Now, this transmission, I don't know exactly how much fluid, what's the capacity, maybe 9 quarts, 12 quarts. But when you open that drain plug, it's only gonna spit out 3 to 4 quarts. So it's not gonna let you get all of it at once. So the best way you can maintain your car is to do this as much as possible. But I'm only gonna do it once every 3 years, according to my driving habits. Yours might be different. You can do it 3 times, they say, but if you wanna go 4, 5, 6, these quarts are kind of expensive. They cost, I'm gonna call it $10, anywhere between $7 and $10. The DW-1. So it's kind of expensive, man. This is like so right here, this is basically about a $40. I did a do it yourself, but it cost me about $40. Although I paid less than that. I paid about $7 and change for each quart. So a little less than $40 it cost me to do this job. What we got here? Look at that. All the fluid is gone. Nice and sexy. Let me see what we got here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just gonna let that sit so it can drain in there. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. Come back. Put this in, and I'm done. I don't even have to check it. You see why I don't have to check it the way I did it. I don't have to check that at all. Just cap it up and go. Good to go. All right, YouTube. I think that's it. The only thing to do is like I said, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes on this. The only thing to do is take this out, put the dipstick back in, and start it up. I don't have to drive it. I don't have to do anything because the correct amount of fluid is in there, so I'm good. Peace out till our next adventure. BK Bionic out.